So I invested in this program. I really have three reasons. One is I believe in it. I believe in the students. I believe in Diane. I do believe in the program, the students, and the university to develop a world-class women's leadership program. An influx of funding will help them move forward more quickly and help them look at the vision and see if they can expand it or improve it. But it's, to me, the right time to invest in an early stage program. And the third reason that I contribute is because of my incredible experience at Clemson. And I benefited from Clemson in very many aspects. Those three reasons are why it was so important to me to give back to the university and the town in which I was able to prosper, you know, as a result of my experience here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please move to your seats as the ceremony will begin shortly. Welcome. Please stand if you are able. The processional will begin with the members of the faculty of Clemson University entering the seating area of the Coliseum Club. Now entering the arena is the Clemson University's graduating class of 2024.
Are we on? Yes. Oh, there's the meeting.
The stage party is being led by the Clemson University Marshal, Dr. Lauren Duffy. Now approaching the podium is the Clemson University Interim Registrar, Rock McCaskill.
The posting of the colors is being performed by Company C4 of the Clemson University Pershing Rifles. It will be followed by the singing of our national anthem, led by Anna Grace Stiltner, a senior in performing arts.
March time. March. Detail. Hold. Guard. Order. Arms. Left. Face. Post. Precinct Arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Right. Face. Guard. Forward. Arms. Forward. March.
Welcome. I hereby open Clemson University's graduation ceremony. Today, those who the faculties, Clemson's colleges and schools have recommended to the provost and to the president for graduation will come forward to receive the congratulations of the president. Clemson University is pleased to provide open captioning and American Sign Language interpreting for today's ceremony. I would now like to invite Sarah Cuthrill, Junior in Marketing, to the podium for the invocation.
Let us pray. God, thank you for today and all the tireless days that came before. We thank you for giving these graduates strength as you have led them to this exciting point in their journey. We give thanks as they walk across this stage for all of the people that you have brought into their lives to help them become the men and women they are today. We thank the parents and loved ones who have sacrificed greatly and provided love and support in reaching this milestone. Thank you for providing the friendships made who have walked with them through the good times and the bad. Thank you to the faculty, staff, and administrators who helped shape these graduates into inspiring young leaders. Thank you to the university for providing these graduates a safe place to learn and an incredibly strong foundation to build upon as they go forward into the world. Today, we also pray for tomorrow. Grant them courage to embrace the challenges ahead, wisdom to make sound decisions, and compassion to serve others. May your aspirations be guided by integrity, empathy, and a commitment to excellence. As you embark on new journeys, may you never forget the values instilled in you and the infinite possibilities that await. Please be their guide and their guard as the class of 2024 continue on their journey. Amen.
You may be seated. My name is Bob Jones, and I'm the Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost for Clemson University. It is now my honor to introduce a teacher, a scholar, a national leader in higher education who's brought Clemson University to new heights in its reputation and positive impacts on our state and nation, an inspiration to all of our students, our staff, and faculty, the 15th President of Clemson University, Dr. James P. Clements.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Jones, and thank you for the great job you are doing as our Executive Vice President and Provost, a role that you have served in so very well for the past 10 years. Will you all please help me thank him for his leadership over the academic enterprise? Good morning, go Tigers. Good morning, go Tigers. Will you also please give a big, loud round of applause to Anna Grace for the great job she did singing the national anthem. Let me start by saying to all who are graduating today, I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of you. And I'm really happy for you. And I'm truly honored to be here with you on this very special day. Welcome to Clemson University's August 2024 graduation ceremony. Graduation is one of the most special days in the life of a university. And I'm thrilled that we are together today to celebrate you as you walk across this stage and properly mark this important milestone in your life. You did it. You made it to the finish line. This is a day when we celebrate your hard work and your achievements, and imagine all of the possibilities that lie ahead for you. It's also a day to recognize the family members and friends and mentors who nurtured you and who supported you and who helped to make this day possible. To all of the moms and the dads, the spouses, the grandparents, the children, the siblings, the aunts and uncles, the friends and mentors who are here with you today, you honor us and these graduates with your presence. I think you all deserve a very loud round of applause. And speaking of family, others wanted desperately to be here, but some were unable to be with us. In some special cases, these family members have been called to serve our great country. This high calling has caused some to miss this important day in your life. We are grateful for their service and their sacrifice. We also thank those members of the graduating class who serve this great nation. These veterans, active service members, and newly commissioned officers from our Army and Air Force ROTC programs are distinguished by the red, white, and blue cords that they wear today. I would like to ask all in the arena who have served and those who are currently serving in our armed forces to please stand or raise your hand and accept our deep thanks. I know that some guests here today have returned to their alma mater to witness family and loved ones join them as Clemson alumni. If you are a graduate of this great university, please stand so that we can welcome you home to the upstate. I want to recognize and thank our incredible faculty and dedicated staff whose commitment to excellence in teaching, research, and service help to ensure your success here at Clemson. If you are a faculty or staff member here today, will you please stand and be recognized? I would also like to extend a special congratulations to any faculty or staff member who are receiving their degrees today. We are privileged to have with us several members of the University Board of Trustees. I would like to ask each to please stand as I call their name and remain standing until all have been called. I ask that you please wait to show your appreciation until all have been introduced. Ms. Kim Wilkerson, Chair of the Board. Mr. Nicky McCarter, Vice Chair. Dr. Lewis Lynn, Dr. Ronnie Lee, and Dr. J.J. Britton, Trustee Emeritus. Would you please help me thank them for their dedication and leadership? We also have with us executive officers and other guests. As I read their name, I ask each to please stand and remain standing until all have been introduced. Again, I ask that you please hold your applause until all have been recognized. Dr. Robert H. Jones, Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. Dr. Chris Miller, Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students. Ms. April Purvis, Executive Secretary to the Board of Trustees. Mr. Rock McGaskill, Interim Registrar. Dr. Lauren Duffy, President of the Faculty Senate. And Ms. Stacy Miller, Vice President of the Staff Senate. Will you please help me thank all of them for their leadership?
It is my pleasure to now recognize our academic leaders. Please hold your applause until I have introduced them all. Dr. Sean Britton, Associate Provost and Dean of Undergraduate Studies. Dr. John Lopes, Associate Provost and Dean of the Graduate School. Dr. Greg Yarrow, Acting Dean of the College of Agriculture, Forestry, and Life Sciences. Dr. Nicholas Vajani, Dean of the College of Arts and Humanities. Ms. Wendy York, Dean of the Wilbur O. and Ann Powers College of Business. Dr. Anand Gramapati, Dean of the College of Engineering, Computing, and Applied Sciences. Dr. Cynthia Young, Dean of the College of Science. Dr. Eche Erdogmus, Founding Dean of the College of Architecture, Art, and Construction. Dr. Michelle Cook, Senior Associate Dean of the College of Education. Dr. Brian Miller, Associate Dean of the College of Behavioral, Social, and Health Sciences. Dr. Sarah Winslow, Dean of the Clemson University Honors College. Mr. Chris Cox, Dean of University Libraries. And finally, Dr. Roy Jones, please stand, who is a Provost Distinguished Professor of Education, and Dr. Vernon Burton, the Professor of History, who are escorting a special guest who we will be introducing shortly. Will you please join me in thanking these individuals?
Today we have the privilege of awarding 2 posthumous honorary degrees to two very distinguished citizens who were recommended by the University Honorary Degree Committee and approved by the Board of Trustees. The degrees are conferred in recognition of eminent achievement and high distinction in public service and dedication by improving the lives of people around the world. I would now like to invite back to the podium Provost Jones to share more about the honorary degree recipients.
Reverend Joseph A. Delane Sr. and Maddie Belton Delane are known for blazing the trail that eventually resulted in the desegregation of public schools across America. Reverend Joseph Delane Sr. was born on July 2, 1898, near Manning, South Carolina, and he earned 2 bachelor's degrees, one to teach and one to become an ordained minister in the African Methodist Episcopal Church, and both those degrees were from Allen University. Maddie Belton Delane was born on December 1st, 1907, in Smallwood, South Carolina. Maddie attended Benedict College, where after many years of studying, she earned her bachelor's degree and advanced teaching certificate. Maddie began her job teaching as the only teacher in a one-teacher school in Longtown, South Carolina. She taught all 7 grades, attended by nearly 100 students, of which many were present each and every day. Reverend Delane was working as a principal of the Jameson School in Orangeburg County when he and Maddie met at a church conference. Maddie accepted an open teaching position at the Jameson School, and she and Reverend Delane were married in 1931. A minister and a school teacher who were both extraordinary educators and leaders, the Delanes believed in the transformational power of education and not just the power of education for an individual, but for an entire community and an entire country. And as a result of their tireless efforts to ensure all students had access to a high-quality education, they brought the seminal case, Briggs versus Elliott, within the set of cases collectively known as Brown versus Board of Education, which ended racial segregation. They withstood hate crimes, assault, and attempts on their lives, but they persevered in fighting for equality because they believed in a better world. As a result of the Delanes' determination, their sacrifice, leadership, love, and faith, they were instrumental in helping to bring forward the seminal Briggs versus Elliott case that transformed public education in America. Reverend Delane passed away in 1974, and Maddie Delane passed away in 1999, but their legacy continues to live on. In 2003, Reverend Delane was posthumously awarded a Congressional Gold Medal of Honor in recognition of his transformative service leadership.
Today, both Reverend Delane and Maddie Delane will be recipients of Clemson University honorary degrees. The Delanes' lifelong work is a definition of what a Clemson Tiger strives for. Their pursuits were meaningful, their efforts were impactful, and their determined spirits guided this incredible couple to do outstanding work that continues to have a significant impact, not just in the state of South Carolina, but across our entire country. Clemson University confers honorary degrees in recognition of significant achievement in scholarship and creativity and high distinction in service to humanity. In light of these accomplishments and their importance to our high seminary of learning, and in honor of Reverend Joseph A. Delane Sr. and Maddie Belton Delane's efforts to further education for all people, it is my distinct honor and privilege to posthumously award an honorary doctorate of education to both Joseph A. Delane Sr. and Maddie Belton Delane for their leadership and their commitment to bettering the world. At this time, I would like to invite the chair of our Board of Trustees, Dickerson, to join me in presenting the honorary doctorate of education. I would also like to ask their son, Joseph A. Delane Jr., to please come forward. By the authority vested in me by the Clemson University Board of Trustees, I now confer upon Joseph A. Delane Sr. and Maddie Belton Delane the honorary degrees of Doctorate of Education.
It is now my honor to read a letter written by the Delane family for this occasion. And I quote, "We, Joseph A. Delane Jr. and Ophelia Delane Gona, the surviving children of Maddie and Joseph A. Delane Sr., are inspired by Clemson University's recognition of our late parents and their unique contribution to the field of education. Although their leadership in the grassroots quest for equal educational opportunities did not occur within the walls of academia or in a highly visible arena, it was momentous. Their unsung leadership provided the key impetus for the revolution that began in 1951 in South Carolina's educational system. Their names, their efforts, and their sacrifices were seldom mentioned as the result of their unwavering push for educational justice metamorphosed into the U.S. Supreme Court's 1954 Brown versus Board of Education verdict. While we are not so naive as to attribute these societal changes solely to our parents, we have personally witnessed, both directly and indirectly, the profound impact of their actions. We marvel at what the efforts of our humble but assertive rural school teacher parents have wrought. When the call came for leaders to take a stand, our parents, already united in marriage, answered with one voice. Together they went forth into the battle. Performing complementary roles, they were true partners in the quest for justice. With uncompromising determination, they were champions for people trapped by law and by custom in the mire of deprivation and oppression. Although their work stimulated a fundamental shift in the perception of human rights, they never gave up on their humility nor their belief in equality. By formally recognizing and honoring the outstanding contribution of Maddie Belton Delane and Joseph Armstrong Delane to education, you, the trustees and administration, have elevated Clemson University in the eyes of the world. We compliment and congratulate you on this major tribute." End quote. And I would like to add that Clemson University thanks the Delane family for their kind words, and we will remain forever grateful for the significant and impactful leadership that the Delane family has provided.
Yesterday, we hosted our doctoral hooding ceremony, and all 111 students were eligible to participate in the doctoral ceremony, representing 36 degree programs and 15 countries. Let's take a moment to congratulate our newest doctoral degree recipients. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my immense pleasure to present to you the graduating class of 2024. I would like to ask all candidates for graduation this morning to please stand and be recognized. Will the candidates for the master's degree and educational specialist degree please remain standing? All others may be seated at this time. Master's degree, please remain standing. By the authority vested in me by the Clemson University Board of Trustees, and upon the recommendation of our incredible faculty, I hereby confer upon you the master's degree and/or educational specialist degree with all of the rights and privileges appertaining thereto, and as testimony thereof, I present you with a diploma from the university. Congratulations. It is now my pleasure to invite each graduate, beginning with the first row, to come forward and be recognized. All others may be seated at this time.
And now, candidates in the College of Agriculture, Forestry, and Life Sciences. Yvonne Alexander Alarcon Mendoza. Jane Arnold. Michaela Elizabeth Day Kennedy. Alexis Jade Clark. Amalia Maria Diaz Alejandro. Timothy Scott Knorr. Hasini Lakmini Mapatuna Mapatunage. Caitlin Elizabeth Meadows. Samantha Nicole Meal. Amanda L. Poole. Sarah Ashley Puckett. Miracle Lewis Rabin. Erica Danielle Reed. Siddhartha Regmi. Amelia Claire Reinhardt. Hannah Robillard. Jocelyn Mole Singh. Caitlin Elizabeth Ward. Amanda Yeager. And now, candidates in the College of Architecture, Arts, and Humanities. Dustin Kyle Abercrombie. Hunter Mason Benton.
Dawn Scully Sikora.
Holly Hamilton Buxton. Nautica S. Edge. Gannon Broderick Feldman. Stuti Garg. Paul Edwin Good IV. Arden Victoria Hamilton. Andrew Johnson Hubbard. Christopher Michael Lauder. Anne Bernadette Lyons. Andrew Owen Matthews. Emma Caroline Nicolini. Charles Martin Patton. Isaac Quay. Baker Middleton Reese. Addison Taylor Sandoz. Jordan Alexander Smith. Trevor Michael Van Hoff. And now, candidates in the College of Behavioral, Social, and Health Sciences. Mackenzie Brooke Beasley. Madeline Bullwinkle. Cody Can. Colin Michael Clancy. Ashutosh Surendra Patil. Broderick Winston Clark. Nia Michelle Coleman. Blake Eric Davis. Michaela Veray Escamilla. Ayotunde Paul Fasanya. Jasmine Taylor Franks. Austin T. Funderburg. Carlos Julio Gore Ashton. Mackenzie Andrea Guerrero. Caitlin Marie Howard. Olivia Ann Jacobella Edmonds. Eve Katzen. Jordan Knapp. Coleman Lloyd Little. John Langdon Luton. Joseph Benjamin Moultrie, Taylor O'Connor, Jasmine Monet Patan, Matthew Adam Rawl, Antonia Celia Ronhel Carril, Kendall Leanne Ritchie, Chloe Lucille Sutherland, and now, candidates in the Wilbur O. and Ann Powers College of Business. Jaap Johannes Gerardus Alderaan, Megan Emonique Adams, Tukir Ahmed, Cecilia Christine Ard, Spencer Ryan Arts, Daniel Brian Austin, Carly John Baker, Christopher Franklin Baker Jr., Emily Barnett, Amy B. Beach, Seth Michael Bennett, Mario Bofill, Matthew Lawrence Bada, Sandra Bowers, John Spotswood Britton, Richard Allen Brockman, Natalie Fiddler Brown, Christopher Michael Bryant, Jennifer Marie Cagno, Grace Sydney Cambon, Kishana Latrice Carey, Osley Burrell Caraway IV, Kristen Carruthers, Emily Carter, Stephanie Lynn Clemson Johnson, Jason Scott Cobb, Courtney Condon, Philip Tyler Cook, Krissa Jeanette Cooper, Victor H. Correa, Brett Cranny, Connor Stephen Crutchfield, Christian Josique Cunningham, Carl William Custer Jr., Jason Keith Dalrymple, Esther de la Cruz de Cornejo, Adrian Denard, Cassie O'Neill Driggers, Taylor Imani Edge, Patrick Houghton Flanagan Jr., Daniel Mack Floyd, Donald Minot Foss III, George Lindsay Franklin Jr., Hannah Jane Fugate, Jesus Garza, Emily Page Gaskins, Riley John Gobin, Kyle David Goldstein, Carol Eugene Griffin III, Delvin Richard Hall Sr., Jadicus Hammond, Jason Alexander Hart, Leslie Richards Hart, Whitney Cherie Hatch. Stephen Walker Head. Caroline Marie Heath. Emily Ruthann Helms. Caroline Christine Hendricks. Belle Victoria Hester. Colleen Alice Hurt. Lindsay Victoria Hobbs. William Thomas Horn. Jonathan Lee Hudgens. Megan Elizabeth Abby Wabley. Alexa Jordan Iana Coney. Daniel Wesley Johnson. Aaron Johnson. Jason Randall Jordan. Tate Russell Keplinger. Jordan Elise Keir. Madison Gearhart Kuman. Madeline Lee. Jake Jerome Lemaire. Mary Colin Lewis. Andy Y. Lynn.
If that doesn't work, I'll read it.
Jonathan David Likens. Eric Johansson. Ali Masters. Stacy Marie McCormick. Margaret Steele McGlone. Nicholas Joseph Miller. Ghazal Mohammadi. Malachi Avery Montero. Marta A. Montero. Connor Ryan Mulvey. David Alejandro Munoz. Leanne Elizabeth Murphy. Hannah Marie Miserati. Lee Ann Oakley. Ariel Angelica Oda. Ralph Brent Odell. Paul Landon Owen. Catherine Grace Pafides. Tyler Sterling Parker. Ilham Parvizi Cherry. Colton Robert Pereo. Crystalee Pitts. Michael Stowe Palomino. Victoria Elise Powell. Alexander James Ratliff. Douglas Robert Foster Roach. Morgan Brady Ross. Victoria Lauren Roth. Delaney Elizabeth Rust. Sophia Scheibler. Raquel Monique Shackelford. Andrew David Smith. Wesley Kendall Smith. Tabitha Studebaker. Carolina Suero Silva. Emily Ray Sullivan. Brandon Renard Thomas. Lauren DeLeon Todd. Margaret Bailey Varro. Caitlin Clark Wade, Nora Walsh, Robert John Warsler, Cameron Ray Watkins, Emily Lynn Weeks, Jackson Benjamin Weeks, Shayna Nicole Wilborn, Patience Jordan Wilkes, Melanie Janelle Yearwood Wolf, Danielle Nicole Wood, Taylor Brianna Wright, Zachary Watson, and now, candidates in the College of Education. Gabrielle Allen, Zachary Brian Arms, Leslie Armstrong, Savannah Masters Barton, Kelly Barnes Bechtel, Kelsey Diane Beckstrom, Jonay Alice Dexter Jerome Benson, Claire Elizabeth Buxty, Catherine Ellen Boyer, Amanda Lee Brewer, Dana Brewer, Brett Lawrence Brazil Sr., Jenna Burdette Bryant, Heather Callahan, Summer Yergin Carling, Ellie Gray Cecil, Hannah McCrory Chapman, Rachel Tice Chapman, Jillian Catherine Connolly, Isabella Riley Conrad, Ruth Natalia Cortez, Carla Price Davis, Kimberly Brown Shuford, Caitlin Sarah Leanne De La Cruz de Guzman, Sydney DeAngelis Owens, Sierra Margaret DiVenuto Wyeth, Jonathan Micah Dilworth, Teria Apri Donald, Grace Taylor Duff, Maisie DeWynn Edmonds, Madison Clardy Eccles, Christina Carmen Figueroa, Amy Forrester, Amy Welsh Garcia, Lindsay Marie Garcia, Caitlin Ashley Goad, Bailey Madison Goldsmith, Lauren Adair Graves, Kimberly Michelle Hawkins, Gloria Marie Halencia, Kelsey Poole Harris, Ann Jackson Campbell Jeffcoat, Danielle Marie Jennings, Jonathan Anderson, Desiree Marcella Jones, Megan Kinner, Abby Louise Knox, Alicia Monique Levy, Sarah Catherine Lee, Emily Dunn Letourneau, Anna Wiesner Lord, Johanna Marie Mayfield, Carissa Patterson, Cassandra Taylor Power, Alexis Vladimir Quevedo Galan, Heather Lott Roper, Stuart William Ruddy, Caitlin Scruggs, Christopher Bernard Spence, Corey Nicole Spragg, Ahmad Dante Stevens, Elizabeth May Stone, Jessica Marie Stiles, Candace Allred Taunton, Jordan Isabella Teresiano, Devin Lewis Turner, Maggie Jean Van Thullener, Amber Leanne Vincent, Jillian Grace Warren, Valerie Suzanne Whitaker, Lauren D. Williams, Gary Gribble Weiser Jr., And now, candidates in the College of Engineering, Computing, and Applied Sciences. Carson Goddard Allen, Kasha Bagri, Akshay Balachandran, Harshad Ram Balaji, Rakshat Balu, Larissa Belmont Rivera, Karan Benahali Shankar Morti, Kanav Bardwaj, Amrut Bhaskar Reddy, Adam Robert Beal, Nathan Michael Brown, Gita Krishna Sai Chalakala, Ravi Dattatreya Chintalapati, Lochan Chitnis, Robin Lee Connor, Srijit Datta, Vincent Andrew Davidson, Puneeth Devarakonda, Shashank Satyanand Devi, Dijul Dilip, Patrick Fuller, Claire Elizabeth Funk, Kiran Ganesh, Anand Ramesh Gantali, Eve Michelle Gilreath, James Richmond Bradham, Drew Vincent Gershovich, Aaron Chin, Sarah Grace Hill, Prakash Koirala, Israel Afriye, Tong Shen Ho, Manas Reddy Hemala, Christopher Eugene Jacobs, Samil Pramod Jain, Aniruddha Tushar Joshi, Lomesh Chavikumar Joshi, Devarsh Kachalia, Venkat Jayadeep Jaka, Shashank Kondoju, Akshay Prashant Korpe, Samuel Nelson Koselny, Ankit Kulkarni, Anirudh Kayatam, Shantanu Manish Lanke, Jacob Martin Lautenschlager, Anthony D. Luciano, Rishi Aravind Madhu, Sagar Jatinbai Malvi,
Athinarapu Pavan Kumar.
Luis Fernando Mantilla, Parth Tushar Masurkar, Michaela Clavon Middleton, David Miller, Nitesh Ranjan Naval, Nikhil Patro, Manas Fonse, Adam Shea Pickerel, Aravind Kumar Ramesh, Nipun Reddy Pisari, Rohit Ravikumar, Andrew Joseph Rodrigue, Cameron Scott Rail, Ayush Devesh Patel, Ali Azarmi, Shaheen Sadehi Shahdani, Ashwin Sankar, Mrunali Mahadio Sawant, Vasant Sitapati, Sushmit Shada, Kush Amit Shah, Taukir Sharif Sheikh, Ayush Shanoy, Parth Sahadev Shinde, Charanjit Singh, Divyansh Pratap Singh, Parampreet Singh, Komal Rohidas Sonavane, Swami Talekar, Winit Talele, Severina Denite Tekle, Anurag Tuma, Cooper Lee Tillman, Venkata Sai Dinesh Tirumalasetti,
Harish Thota.
Lauren Juliana Todd, Abhilash Tukar, Saurabh Ajit Varagiri, Narinder Verma, Pranay Verma, Bruce Stewart Vogelsberg Jr., Zachary John Wolf, Jia Lun Yang, And now, candidates in the College of Science. Ritu Divkota. Emily Donnell Eford. Cynthia Ruiz. Madeline Santana. Pranav Satish Manvi. Ziria Karay Wilson.
How about another loud round of applause for our newest Master's in Education degree specialist? At this time, we will hear a musical selection. And now, will the candidates for the bachelor's degree please rise? By the authority vested in me by the Clemson University Board of Trustees and upon the recommendation of our faculty, I hereby confer upon you the bachelor's degree with all of the rights and privileges appertaining thereto, and as testimony thereof, I present you with a diploma from the university. Congratulations. It is now my pleasure to invite each graduate, beginning with the first row, to come forward and be recognized. All others may be seated at this time.
And now, candidates in the College of Agriculture, Forestry, and Life Sciences. Devin G. Barr. Catherine Bergman. Amelia Palmer Blair. Logan Philip Blush. Abigail Elizabeth Burgess. Nicholas Burns. Sophia Ray Cahill. Nicholas Alejandro Shalala. Mackenzie Leanne Duncan. James Claypool Farrell. Ryan Feely. Coleman Daniel Hull. Rihanna L. Jefferson. Jamie King. Alex June Cattell. Turner Stevenson Lomas. Madeline Eva Mathis. Alex Nicole Needham. Peyton Elena Saguta Paulette. Paige Elliott Peters. Kala Ann Rauschenbach. Bella Elizabeth Cope Sikorsky. Mackenzie Jordan Tackett. Emma Marie Tester. James Garrett Ulmer. Kyle Avery Vandegrift. Natalie Ann Wickstrom. And now, candidates in the College of Architecture, Arts, and Humanities. Autumn Summer Barjona. Simone Nady Bowles. Aidan W. Coley. Caroline Elizabeth Condon. Madeline Marie Fema. Benjamin Clayton Gandy. McAllen Brianna Garrett. Ellen Grace Hamilton. Caroline Grace Kennington. Jack Edward Little. Eli Reese Marshall. Wilkes Thomas Martin IV. Emma Hayden McLean. Grace Catherine Shea.
Ireland King.
August Marcelo Spencer. Clayton Hugh Stinnett. Sarah Renee Thompson. Rachel Vaughn. Addison Reagan Williams.
Isabella Giselle Williams.
Dakari Worthy. Norris Harry Newkirk Wright III. June Zawalik. And now, candidates in the College of Behavioral, Social, and Health Sciences. Greg Akatitilan Jr. Joshua Torrance Beadle. Adrian Elaine Burning. Savannah Nix Bibb. Tabitha Smith Blackwell. Kaya Amber Bradley. Lily Elaine Browning. Lauren Bell Bryant, Peyton Mackenzie Bryant, Douglas E. Chadman, Hallie Diamond Chadman, Norissa Patrina Chandler, Kaylin Clevenger, William Andrew Coleman, Daniel Odino Cope, Imari Sine Crumity, Asia Jean Marie Daly, Theodore Robert Thomas Davis, Isabella Marie DeGracia,
Patrick Thomas Driscoll.
Ellison Ann Dubose, Hayden Elaine Dye, Inea Ibrahim, Jack Folk, Lance Gregory Fewer, Caden Reed Garris, Jackson Corbett Gore, Shelby Renee Gorton, Sierra Heist, Christina Elizabeth Hallis, Jackson Hardwick, Taylor Ray Hedden, Kate Kavanaugh Herlong, Hannah Sky Hilkoff, Kaylee Marlene Hofferber, Mason Montgomery Hunt, Robert Drew Engel, Nolan Dale Johnson, Madison Elizabeth Jones, Christy Mae Lester,
Jasmine Alexis King.
Grace Carpenter Lewis, Hayden Miller Lewis, Emma Jameson Love, Morgan Langer Malcolm, Connor James Marking, Trey Matthews, Benjamin R. McCollum, Margaret Adele McGarity, Tremont Deshawn Milburn, Mackenzie Rose Mary Mitchell, Mohammed Sahil Momen, Noah Christian Morrison, Olivia Eileen Murphy, Shia Drummond Murray, Emma Lee Newton, Nicholas Oxley, Hershil Ninesh Kumar Patel, Derek Bradley Phillips, Hudson Berry Phillips, Taylor Adele Pittman, Vance Thomas Presley, Braxton Williams Rice, Alyssa Marie Ritter, Helen Geiger Rosemond, Rachel Ann Ross, Isabella Grace Rufa, Destiny Elizabeth Rhines, Olivia Ann Soboski, Frank Costa Silva Jr., Sophia Ann Sprouse, Sydney Elizabeth Standifer, William Walken Stevens, Blake Nakyla Summers, Amon Anthony Thornton, Sarah Lynn Turner, Olivia Wallace,
Caroline Elizabeth Stewart.
Aiden Marshall Warshawski, Edward Leland Williams III,
Cheyenne Raven Willman.
Kaylin Mary Wilson, McKenna Renee Wright, and now, candidates in the Wilbur O. and Ann Powers College of Business. Joy Victoria Albert, Julia Barbara Ansovic, Joshua Bryce Anderson, Caitlin Hume Antonio, Ashley Elizabeth Arnold, Samantha J. Arnold, Joseph William Arrigo, Corey Keaton Bell, Ayana Janae Bertha, Shelby Ann Blake, Anders Peter Blom, Theron Bradford, Wilson Bradley, Alyssa Hope Brocklesby, Finnegan Tobin Brown, Hilton C. Bryson, Samantha Ann Buicks, Michael Anders Caldwell, Christopher Brett Carlson, William Bradford Carson, Samantha Marie Castiller, Colton Clarkson, Mia Ann Call, Catherine Ann Comer, Jackson Garrett Crosby, Abby Davis, Justin Dion Dogan, Sebastian Enrique Ducharne,
Porter Buchanan Duncan.
Lauren Bradley Evett, Megan Gavigan, Markel Jenwright, Troy Gregg, Isabel Hunt Gressett, Matthew Griffin, Avery Janai Hackett, Tyler Teak Halloran, Tony Hang, Allie Elizabeth Hannon, Elijah V. Harris, Leland Hills, Natalie Grace Hinson, Brandon Michael Hawk, Sarah Grace Hollingsworth, Talia Rose Holt, Tanner Roblack, Carson Riley James, Corey Joseph Jenkins, Jack Leonard Kamsiskas, Mackenzie Kinney, Kaylee Lane Kaiser, Thomas Anderson Codman, Elizabeth Claire Kosak, Anna Nasser Lamb, Ryan Lavery, Kenyon Martin Liggins, Sydney Meadow Lilly, Tinotenda George Mataruka, James Connor Burke, Nicholas Charles Millspaugh,
Robert L. Moore.
Cole Moss, Macy Claire Bouchard, Dalton Colby Newton, Sydney Lee Nobarek, Brendan Joseph Normile, Natalie Grace Orms, Shreya Nimesh Patel, Nathaniel James Poole, Rogan Armstrong Powell, Emily Spencer Reynolds, Cameron James Rose, Samuel R.C., Hannah Alexandra Chakalis, Morgan N. Sim, Shane R. Smith, Kerwin Chapman Sonnefelt, Isabel Owen Stanley, Travis Logan Stern, Alexander Sukenko, Jeb Michael Tiemeyer, Angel Nicole Tisdale, Justin Henry Trammell, Ella Tu Tran, Antonia Elena Trankarov, Colin Tucker, Tykurian Tucker, Zachary Joseph Tuttle, Crystal Villanueva, Grace Elizabeth Webster, Bryson Cole Wisnant, Isaiah Williams, Jonathan Parker Williams, Catherine May Wong, Harold Connor Ray, Mason Colt Young, and now, candidates in the College of Education. Tariq Zaire Copeland, Emily Christine Guy, and now, candidates in the College of Engineering, Computing, and Applied Sciences. Christopher Dakota Avera, Bradley Sayachak Baltero Cruz, John Leonard Bitter IV,
William Aquila Allen III.
Bobby Bradburn, Joshua Tyler Brown, Alden James Broyles, Alden Hamilton Butt, Caleb Jonathan Davis, Thomas Davis, Mohammed El Kasabi, Casey C. Finkelstein, Carter Quinn Flanagan, Justin Anthony Gammon, Shay Caroline Gaskell, Leo Bernhard Gibson, Jason Grove, Adam Hakimji, Grant Harley,
Campbell Summers Hemminghouse.
Sean T. Hermes, Sienna Irene Hinton, Benjamin Calvin Ayat, Tristan Elia Jansen, Smith Fitzgerald Juback, Mitch Kaiser, Casey Boone Lubchow, Jacob Penn McDonald, Chase Michael Marler, Joseph Ross Martin, Evan McCutcheon, Matthew Thomas McDonald, Jordan Trammell McDowell, Alexander Joseph Meister, Braden Mize, Thomas Eli Brown Morris, Alec Lorenzo Singleton Moses, Austin Merton, Isaac Bruce Palmer, Hannah Claire Patton, William O'Neill Perry Jr., Sidney Jean Phipps, Samuel Donald Piggott, Nikhil Narasimha Rangaraju, Jason Elias Sade, Justin Salvatore Sabia, Somit Sarkar, Ashton Schaffert, Anthony Blaze Shaheed, Madison Michelle Sinofsky, Chandler Graham Sparks, Dylan Robert Spikings, Logan Campbell Tisdale, Ryan Ware, Edward Benjamin Welch V, Kevin Michael Welch, Louis Tomas White, Andrew Heon Widman, Adam Willoughby, Colin Ryan Wunsch, and now, candidates in the College of Science. David Abdul Sayed, Liam Spen Barnum, Madison Emily Barrett, Claudia Jennifer Bautista, Janae Alexandria Brooks, Andrew David Brown, Taylor Ann Carfana, Bailey Carter, Caitlin May Davis, Tinashe Kia Ayoka Douglas, Sarah Marie Joyner, Carissa Alexis Kendall, Alexandria Lemon, Joshua Gonizashe Mazaiwana, Sabrina Melendez Rosales, Christina Alexandra Pippis, Lauren Elizabeth Shaw, Abigail Rose Smith, Jody Lee Tatum,
How about another loud round of applause for all of our newest graduates? I would now like to invite Will Brasington, Chief Executive Officer for the Clemson Alumni Association, to the stage.
Well, thank you, President Clements. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the Clemson Alumni Association, it is my true pleasure to officially welcome each of our graduates to the Clemson alumni family. Today is indeed a special day as it marks an important milestone, the beginning of the next phase of your lifelong relationship with Clemson. Now, I know as you prepare to leave here today, you will be embarking on new adventures across the country and around the globe as you prepare to begin new jobs, perhaps continue your education, or even enroll in service organizations. But no matter where life leads you, please allow me to charge you to make every effort to stay in touch with Clemson. You see, the future of our alma mater is only brighter and more promising with each of you playing an active role in it. And there's so many ways to do just that. Consider perhaps volunteering with an alumni Clemson club in any of the future places that you will call home. Or perhaps you can serve as a mentor, a source of guidance for a student of the future who will follow in your footsteps. Maybe for you, your source of connection is philanthropically supporting a student organization or a program or your degree field that has meant so much to you during your student days. Or finally, it can be as simple as making every effort to return home to our beautiful campus as often as you can to reunite with your friends and fellow classmates and reminisce about the good old days. Whatever you choose to do and whenever you choose to do it, your Clemson Alumni Association exists to make that special connection between you and your Clemson family. As long as you stay in touch with your Alumni Association, we will keep you in touch with Clemson. So I know I speak for the more than 185,000 living alumni around the world when I say, congratulations, welcome to the family, and go Tigers.
Thank you, Will. Congratulations again to the class of 2024. Your graduating class represents 44 states across the country and more than 31 countries across the globe. Every one of you should be extremely proud of what you just accomplished. You just graduated from one of the best public universities in the country. Congratulations. You received a high-quality education from a world-class faculty, many of whom are among the top experts in their fields. Some pretty amazing things happened during your time here at Clemson. Many of you began your academic career here when the Wilbur O. and Ann Powers College of Business opened its doors. Many of you were students when the first pitch was thrown during the inaugural season of Clemson softball. All right, a little love for softball. You were here when our women's lacrosse team took the field for the first time, and you were part of the inaugural gymnastics season this past season. Many of you were here when we won the national championship in men's soccer in 2021 and again this past fall. During your time here, we dedicated and opened the Samuel J. Cadden Chapel. And you were here when we opened the Daniel Hall renovation and expansion project for the first day of class in 2023. Recently, Clemson was named among the top 3 most trusted public universities in the nation. And this past fall, Wall Street Journal ranked Clemson as the #1 university in the state and among the top 25 best public universities in the country. We are continuing to build for the future across all of our campuses and on our main campus. And one of those buildings is our new Alumni and Visitor Center. And I hope that you will come back and visit and spend time in that building now that you are alums. I hope that your Clemson experience has been everything that you hoped it would be, and that we taught you more than just your academic subjects. I hope that we instilled in you the core values that we hold so dear: integrity, respect, diversity, patriotism, excellence, and self-reliance. I hope that we challenged you and that we inspired you to think critically and to be engaged with your community and the world and to make a positive difference every day. All of you are an inspiration. You're an inspiration to your friends, to your family, and to your community. Please remember all of those who helped to support you along your journey, and please help those who are following behind you. The world needs you. The world needs you to tackle the challenges that we are facing, and I hope that you take what you learned here and use it to make the world an even better place. I personally believe in you. I believe in each and every one of you, and I believe that your impact at Clemson, in South Carolina, and across the country and across the world will be significant in your lifetime. Now, as Clemson's newest graduates, and as a symbol of your achievement, you may move your tassels to the left side of your cap. Congratulations. You walked in today as Clemson students. Now you will exit this ceremony as alumni. Today, many of you will sing the alma mater for the first time as an alum. Today, your life as a Clemson graduate commences. Make us proud. Make your life matter. And please, make a difference. May God bless you all, and go Tigers!
Will you please stand and join in the singing of the Clemson alma mater? The words are printed on the last page of your program.
Where the Blue Ridge yawns its greatness, where the tigers play, hear the triumph, and with all our might, that the tigers roar may echo o'er the mountain high. Please remain standing if you are able for the recessional of the stage party.